Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I was quite uninspired this week, but I did get in a lot of beautiful new products. Now most of these products in this video are PR gifted, but some of them I actually bought with my own money, and the whole deal of this video is just to have a little sit down chat with each and every one of you and just talk through all of the new products that I have the opportunity of trying out. So before we get started, let's first talk about outfits and earrings, because each and every one of you always seems to feel like I don't give them credit enough. So the blouse is by Kit, and I got this one on sale. I also have it in oyster, and I also have it in a bright pink, and it's just one of my favorite type of blouses. You know, a pussy bow is my kind of dealio. Then for jewelry, I am wearing these amazing styles by Ana Luisa, which is a brand from New York. And I kind of fell in love with this brand last year because I got in these gold earrings, but with a plate that looked like it was Delft blue. Now, I think you should support brands wherever you can. I really love them because they're 14 karat plated gold on brass. They want to create a zero carbon footprint by the end of 2020, and they are actually really affordable. So they start at $39, which is absolutely great in my opinion. So yes, let's get started with this video. And first up is a sheet mask by Huda Beauty. That first, I think they are now dabbling into skincare, and they created the Thirst Trap Cocoon Mask and the Chin Lift Mask, also called WISHFUL. So WISHFUL is their skincare range. So let's apply this first and see how it affects our skin. This is just acidy green. Wait, that's sticky. What am I missing? I think the sticky end is supposed to go around my chin. Get it centered. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this with my earrings, but I am. This feels so Shreky, and I don't have any hair to cover this up, so let's stretch out those ears a bit more. This was the day I looked like Shrek. Okay, let's get into this cocoon mask. So it should offer instant hydration, softer skin, dewy glow, and it should be soothing. Obviously, I'm gonna turn off the camera for a little bit while I bask in this glory. Can't even look at myself. This texture is really interesting. You remember those kind of goos you used to get in these little boxes, like? Oh, but it does feel really nice. I've never felt sexier in my life. Start the clock. Okay, I've had this mask on for approximately 20 minutes, and I just want to get on with the video. So, my final thoughts and feelings about this is, one, I love the chin lift mask, not because I want a chin lift, but because I do have a little tech necklines. So I love that there's a specific mask for the neck area. So let's take it off right now. Also, because the inside is so rubbery, it actually stays in place really nicely. So let's take off the coconut mask and see how it has done. I also love to massage in the serum that is left over from this mask and really let the skin soak up all the goodness. Okay, so next up in this trial session is the Magic Serum Crystal Elixir by Charlotte Tilbury. Now this retails at a whopping €72, which will be more in dollars, and I've been looking at the ingredients list. Now, one of the ingredients is vitamin C, which I absolutely love. It's one of the most potent ingredients that have been working really well with my skin type. Other ingredients are Replexium, which I've never heard of before, but it should create a younger looking skin. And then hydrating powerhouse polyglutamic acid, also never heard of it. But it should be 4 times more hydrating than hyaluronic acid. Now, I am not a skincare specialist, but I do love trying out things. So let's open this baby up and see what it does to our skin. First thing I notice is that it's not really fragrant. Okay, so it's really thin. A watery kind of serum. Is there a shimmer in there? Could be that there's a shimmer in there. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get back to you on this. I'll be trying it out for the foreseeable future, see what it does to my skin, and get back to you with results. This next product is one of those products that I've had in my cupboard for a quite long time, but I've never really been the primer type of girl. Can't believe I'm saying this, but this will be the first time for me trying out the PUTTY primer by E.L.F Cosmetics. I've got a little bit of textural issues along the nose, and right here I have a little bit more pores. Do you see what I mean with the Charlotte Tilbury? It seems like there's some kind of a highlighting ingredient in there. I do like it though, but let's see what it does to my texture ridden areas. Okay, yeah, well, I do see a little bit of texture difference in those areas, but other than that, yeah, we'll have to see with foundation application. Speaking of, this is one of those products that I got in and I put it in my cupboard, and most of the shades that I got in were actually too dark for my skin tone, but I have been going sun tanning. So I feel like I can actually try out this SMASHBOX Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation and see what it does. So let's get into it. Now this one seems to be a little too light for my skin tone. Luckily I got in multiple shades, so I'm gonna run back to the cupboard and see if I have a darker one. The shade I've got on my desk is the 2.12, and I've got the 2.2 here. If I look at it side by side, well, this could actually work on its own maybe. Let's try it on the other side. Ah, that does look a lot better, especially because I'm not the type of person to go in full ham with her foundation and just use it to create a light layer of even skin tone. It is definitely a matte formula, and luckily I have a highlighter on my desk that I have been dying to try out, so we can actually correct the mateness of this foundation with our highlighter later on. Even with the amount of stretching out I've been doing, I still feel like it's too covering for my taste. So I'm just going to shear it out by tapping my fingers over it everywhere where I want to diminish the coverage of this foundation. Now, looking at my hand again, I've only used the darker shade, and see how much is still left and how much I actually rubbed off on my hand. So you would need like the littlest, like half a pea size of foundation to get the coverage that I've got going on my face, which is absolutely great because at least that means you get your money's worth. Let's move on over to the next one. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know how crazy I am about cream products, and Fenty Beauty has come out with a whole bunch of cream products that I am dying to try out. So first up is the new bronzer. Now, I've got shade number 2, Butter Biscuit, and in the package also came 2 of the Fenty brushes, which I'm very grateful for because I've always loved how they look. They are always a little bit more dense, and that's especially great for applying cream products. Now, you already know how crazy I am about the Fenty Matchstick in Amber to Contour, but now that they've come out with cream bronzer, I am just beyond happy. I'm over the moon. And I'm also really curious to find out how shiny these products are, because cream products tend to be more shiny. So I'm just going to warm up where I would normally warm up. And it's actually not as shiny as I thought it would be. Also, chapeau for this brush because it absolutely works beautifully with the product, and I love how dense it is. And I'm actually surprised how not orangey this bronzer is, which I absolutely love because I have neutral undertones in my skin, and sometimes a bronzer can just look like orange muck on your face, but this is blending in like a dream. Now I'll show you in a bit how I mix my bronzer with my concealer to cover up any of those blemishes, but I'm gonna leave the concealer part for last before I powder off. I'm just gonna show you an example of these cream blushes because, oof, are they good. Look at how beautiful and tangerine this product is. Now I've got a few new shades. So this shade was Cheeks Out in Daiquiri Dip. Also beautiful, a little bit more pink. It's Strawberry Drip. I think I might use this one. Summertime Wine. Wine blushes are always a favorite of mine. This is also stunning. Bikini Martini. I like that name, which is like an acidy pink. Petal Popping. Ooh, this is also really good, but it's a lot lighter than the one I was planning on using. But they definitely belong to the same family. Okay, I'm gonna go for Strawberry Drip. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use it with my fingers. Okay, so it's not as pigmented as I was expecting, which is actually a good thing because not everyone can work with the most pigmented products out there. So you want to be able to blend it into the skin really nicely, and for blush it's definitely a good thing if it's not 100% pigmented. And this is looking beautiful. Oh, look at how healthy these cheeks look now. Except for that blemish. A blush is also one of those super underrated products, and I feel like not everyone is daring enough to wear blush on their face, but it's one of the easiest ways to make yourself look instantly healthy. Okay, now this wine-colored blush, I am really curious how it will look on my skin tone. So I'm just going to try it out and add a little bit of dimension to this blush. See what it does. Because these deeper tones can usually work out really beautifully if you stretch them out far enough. So obviously it's going way more pink. Now I'm just quickly going to do my concealer with a trusted old friend, the Dior Forever Skin Correct. I'm using the color 2.5N because it is just a perfect skin match. So I bought it in February and I've been using it quite a lot ever since. And it's not easy for me to gravitate towards a new concealer because I do have my favorites. Now some areas I can just conceal like normal, like the jaw area and the two most obvious blemishes I had are very easily covered with this concealer. But you've also seen that I've got a few blemishes on my cheek area, which are not very easy to do. So what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of that Strawberry Dip, place it on my hand, and a little bit of that cream bronzer, and put that on my hand as well. As you can see now, I have this beautiful trifecta of 3 different shades on my hand. And to me, this is the absolute best way to cover up any blemish that is in an area where you've already applied blush or already applied bronzer. Now, do keep in mind, this is only possible with cream products. So what I do is I mix the cream blush with my concealer. So what I really want to do with this technique is create the least amount of layers. So if I would have applied my concealer underneath the blush and underneath the bronzer, that way I would have created an extra layer because I would have wiped away the concealer anyway, and then I would have to go back in and maybe powder it off in between, and it's just a whole mess and things you don't want to do to your skin. Alright, I've quickly powdered off all of the areas that I wanted to mattify, and it's time to get into a new discovery. Now, I usually tend to be the latest to the party and discover things last because I'm a suspicious person. I don't really believe things straight away, and I'm like, at first I just want to see how everyone else is doing with that. I'm probably the last person to get into soap brows. I am a fan. I used it the other week for the first time. Finally got it in. I also ordered their brush, which is one of the best purchases I've made in a while. Okay, I'm using a bit of setting spray by YSL, and I'm just going to spritz it right onto the soap brows. And then what I do is I use this side of the spoolie to just rummage around in this little box, mix the stuff together, so that I can apply a bit of these soap brows onto my brow area. So I usually brush the product in by combing it backwards, and I do this with my normal brow gel, so I wanted to do it with the soap brows as well. Make sure every single inch of that hair is covered in the product, so that then I could start brushing it up. Now, one thing I've learned with soap brows is you want to apply and then leave it the hell alone. Because if you try to brush it too much, it will start creating a weird texture, creating white little flakies. That can also be a little bit of excessive product use. And then I'm going to use this side to just get them in their final position and press them to the skin a little bit, which will make you look absolutely cray-cray at first, but then when we go in with our regular brow product, it will look really nice. Oh my god, I have to tell you, I've been watching a new show called Hunters. It's about hunters, and it's incredible. And also, if you are into costume dramas, Belgravia. So many affairs. So many illegitimate children. One of the shows also that made me cry this past week was Afterlife with Ricky Gervais. And it's one of the saddest, but also one of the most beautiful shows that I've watched so far. So if you are up for a good emotional bucket cleanse, then maybe Afterlife could be a really good one for you. Alright, let's get on to a new product to try out. And I got in some beautiful products from M Cosmetics. Now, this to me is quite special because I grew up with Michelle Phan, and her videos were always so bizarrely good. And she was kind of the only YouTuber I watched when I started out because I loved the film and the cinematic feel behind her tutorials. And so I am really excited for her that her brand M Cosmetics is going so well. So I got in an eyeshadow palette, which is just blush heaven in my opinion. So I'm going to use this to create an all over shade, and then I'm going to go in with something extra. So I'm going to go into this beautiful peachy shade and just create a little pop of color in the socket. Now that we've gotten our eyeshadow done, I would love to get into more of these shadows because they are very, very beautifully pigmented and they blend out beautifully. But I do have some other exciting products I want to use. So, introducing the SUVA liner on my channel because I've been eyeing these for such a long time and I hadn't really had the opportunity of using them. And Scrunchy is, I think, one of their favorite shades, which is a UV color, and I just want to use this bad boy. So I'm going to use a little bit of water to activate the paint, and I'm using the tush number 30 so that I can create a beautiful eyeliner with this. This is going to be bright. One of the things I absolutely love about this brand's Instagram account is those swatches they do on their hand, and then they rub them to showcase that nothing is moving anywhere. So I'm definitely going to do a swatch like that. Please focus. Well, that's definitely not in focus. Okay, so this is actually really, really pigmented. And it's a lot brighter in real life than it is on camera, which is weird, but it's super, super bright. It's semi-thick so that I have a little bit more control over where it is going. So with my eyes open, I'm going to create my wing. Take it over the hooded part. I've also created a little graphic inner corner with this teeny tiny brush from an art supply store. And all you do is just extend your inner corner. Okay, now since the liner on my hand is fully dried up, let's... It actually works. But if I would do this to any of my Kryolan aqua colors, this would not have worked at all. It would have smudged all over the place. So luckily, I also got it in black. Alright, to finish up this eye look, I am going in with the by Terry Lash Expert with the twist brush, and it doesn't mean anything else but it being a straight applicator or a circular staircase applicator. Let's go in with some intense black to sit beside the neon liner. It is time to move on to the next product, which is also a product by M Cosmetics. And I know orange and pink and red all together in the same look might be a little bit much, but I am going to apply it as a buffed out lip. And then what I'm going to do is grab onto a more chunky, chubby brush and then buff out all the outer edges. Funnily enough, because I thought, you know, with the matte packaging, that this would be the liquid lipstick, I was wrong. This is actually the lip gloss. But this is the fun thing about trying out new products, is that it can surprise you where you didn't expect to receive a surprise. So I'm actually really liking this, and I found out that this buffing technique actually also works with lip gloss. So let's get on to the final product of this whole trial video, and that is a new matchsticks in PURRRL. And this is a highlighter which I've been so excited to try out. So let me feel. It feels really slick, really wet. Let me try it out on my hand first. So yes, it is actually quite liquidy. And if I apply it, I'm curious if it's really thin. It's actually water-like, which is crazy. I've had multiple different balm highlighters before, but I did not expect one to feel like water. Let's see. Ooh, that is actually really pretty. Also, smells like nothing again, which I like. No perfumes. This is going straight into the kit. I cannot deny that this is stunning beyond measure. So it's going straight into the kit together with my Amber Fenty matchsticks. And you know, honestly, I am going to put all these cream blushes in there as well. I might have to get a bigger personal kit for this. There you have it. This is the end of the video. I'm deciding to cut it off because I've been filming for 2 hours trying out everything I got in. I really like doing a video like this, even though it's not really educational or whatsoever. This is usually the way I go about filming a new 60-second video for my Instagram, for example. I just sit down, put the new products in front of me, try it out, and that usually ends up being a new 60-second video. And I actually love getting surprised by how a product turns out to be. For example, the Cosmetics lip gloss instead of lipstick. But I love getting surprised by new products and new formulas and newness altogether. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. You would make me a very happy girl. And also, I am going to try to do YouTube Live quite soon. So I'll let you know on my Instagram channel and on my feed here if I'm going to be doing that, and I really hope I can get the hang of this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!